up, y'all? This Cat Stacks. This Cat Stacks. Cat Stacks run this. What up, y'all? This Cat Stacks. What up, y'all? This Cat Stacks. What's up, y'all? This Cat Stacks again. What's up, y'all? This Cat Stacks. What's up, y'all? This Cat Stacks. I was on worldstarhiphop.com. For those who don't know who I am Cat Stacks. I'm the girl that has the whole internet going nuts.
That's that. Tell the truth, baby girl.
She tried to get at me a few times. I ain't with it.
Cat Stacks.
Alright, so there's a very infamous groupie going around saying a lot of negative stuff right now.
I never met Cat Stacks.
Are you sure about you never seen Cat Stacks?
I'm 100% sure.
You don't fear for like when you're walking around and you know somebody's gonna do something to you, like just where's Cat Stacks?
Before there were OnlyFans influencers, IG models, or TikTok exposés, there was Cat Stacks. She became one of the internet's earliest viral villains, turning naming and shaming rappers into a career. For a brief but unforgettable time in 2010, Andrea Herrera, better known for her viral persona Cat Stacks, was hip-hop's most scandalous antagonist. After a series of videos posted on Worldstar Hip Hop, she claimed to have invented the persona as a form of internet entertainment, one that blurred the lines between real and fabricated stories. What started out as boredom quickly turned into a business strategy.
I'm f***ing your favorite rapper right now. Tell me whose rapper chain is this?
However, the nature of her fame and legal issues limited how far she could go, and those videos would come back to haunt her in unexpected ways. But do people actually know her story? In this video, we're breaking down the dark truth about Cat Stacks, the harrowing experiences that birthed the persona, and what happened to her after 2010. Kat's story began in November 1989 in Venezuela. Her mother gave birth to her at the age of 16, and her father died while she was only 10 months old. She was raised in North Miami after immigrating from Venezuela at the age of 8, and grew up in a household with her mother, grandmother, and 2 uncles. She describes her home as abusive and dysfunctional, saying that she had no real father figure, even though her uncles raised her, and no mother figure either because her mother was busy running around with different men. She said, "My mother was actually never home. My grandmother, she had mental issues." In another interview, she said, "I was just physically abused. I was raised with punches. All I know is violence." By her early teens, she was swept into the world of pimping and adult work. She revealed that she was groomed by a violent pimp who was in Miami to recruit girls. She eventually ran away from home to New York with him, and says she was manipulated psychologically and kept in a cycle of abuse. Many girls, she said, stayed not because they wanted to, but because they believed that they were loved or had nowhere else to go. She said, "I think nobody could have helped me back then. My mind was so gone. And I was with a gorilla track pimp, and those are the worst. I was always just alone in my mind." Kat was able to escape at 19 years old when she was arrested with a firearm and put on house arrest while pregnant for him. She said, "I had a firearm and they tried to deport me, but they released me because I was pregnant. So they said the only way they wouldn't deport me and I could be released was if I stayed with my family with an ankle bracelet. He couldn't come close to me. And then having my family support and their love, and plus I had had his baby. It was just a different experience from what I was used to." The house arrest is where the Cat Stacks internet persona was born. She became a dancer in Miami, and during this time, she met the model and adult film star Jenna Shea through a mutual friend. Their friendship grew, and Jenna would recruit Kat to help her argue with fellow models on the internet, and because of this, Kat developed a following on Twitter. This is also how she started gaining attention from rappers. Speaking on her time as a dancer, she said, "When I first started stripping, I didn't expect to meet anybody. I just thought about money to pay my bills. The first person I met was Pitbull. The next person I met was T-Pain because he owned the club Encore and I was working there. I started meeting them out in Miami, and then I started meeting more on Twitter. I didn't expect to meet none of these motherfuckers on Twitter because you think it's only computer nerds on there, but rappers are actually on there." Jenna Shea was dating Worldstar Hip Hop founder Q at the time, and him and Kat teamed up for content for the site. Jenna was the one who encouraged her to lean further into the persona, and when Kat's Twitter got hacked, she convinced her to start making videos. Kat had also launched her own blog to continue the smack talk. For the first video they recorded on a webcam, she exposed various rappers she claimed to have slept with or knew intimately, and Jenna sent it to Q, who posted it to worldstarhiphop.com in early 2010.
For those who don't know who I am Castax. I'm the girl that has the whole internet going nuts. I'm the one who's exposing Young Money. Yes, I have screwed the whole Young Money clique. And you know why they call them Young Money? Because they ain't got no grown ass money. They're all roommates. So that song they made, I can make it better rock. No, I can make it burn big rock. They all share rooms. Mac Man, he claimed he the CEO, but he roommates with J Mills and Gutta Gutta. So I've been to Lil Wayne's crib. I'm Cat Stacks. I got a lot of stories to tell. The people I exposed in my blog aren't all the people I've been with. Like, I've kept the saved ones to myself, but my book deal's coming soon, and my website's coming out soon, so you guys can read more about that. You can subscribe to my website. Little Twist is not under 18. He's 18 years old. I have seen his ID, okay? I have a lot of shit that I could expose about Bow Wow, but I didn't expose about him because he was the only one who called me trying to fix shit over the phone. I was dating Nelly for about 2 months, about 3 months. I was dating Nelly, and the last encounter I had with him was at the Hit Factory. But you will hear more about that in my books, and you will hear more about big names. Those are not the only people I slept with. That's not the only people I sucked with, okay? I've had a bigger name that I will name on my books.
The video blew up unexpectedly, and he decided to pay her to continue making more videos. Every video Cat did had the same theme: name dropping, throwing around the N-word, revealing explicit details, phone numbers, text messages, and voicemails, all while emulating Nicki Minaj's look during her early career with the bangs and a pink hairpiece in the back. She admitted that Jenna and Q would tell her to go harder, or sometimes fed her the information to say on camera. She exposed everybody under the sun, from Terrence J from 106 & Park, members of Black Wall Street, Chopper City, Chad Ochocinco, Young Dro, Jim Jones, and so many more.
Holla at Sean Kingston's fat tricking ass. If you want a couple of grands from him, holla at him. Y'all can't shut me up. I can't stop and I won't stop. Young Money are looking for new roommates, or you could call their CEO personally, Mac Main at. Oh, and make sure you claim the top bunk because Gutta Gutta pissed on the bottom bunk. Call child services on me. A rapper made a false report about me and they can't investigate my condo.
Chopper, let me tell you something, mother. You are not even a one-hit wonder. You never made it out of the bed. That means you taped me without my consent. So you know, that's jail time. He's not gay. Bow Wow's not gay. He's just bisexual.
I repeat, Fabulous number is, he tried to pay me $200 to work overtime. You got cash stacked. Thanks, Chopper, for blasting my naked pictures out. Like, you try to embarrass me by the backfire because everybody love them pictures. My book is coming out in December, so look out for that. Terrence from 106 & Park wanna be topping shit on BET. She's just jealous because I did the whole Young Money crew. Like, J Mills is the only one with his own bathroom and his own balcony. He lasted maybe 10 minutes. You know, I got paid for my services with them, so, you know, when J Mills called child services on me, they drug tested me and they touched my whole condo.
What's up, girl?
He's very affectionate in bed. He's not like, trying to act hard in his rap lyrics. Say the words, like not in like the urban world, like in the pop white world, I feel Eric Carter. One of these rappers paid Joe Buttons to hack my page after exposing them. Lil Twist number is 650. Nelly's number is 314. How about you hit up Lil One on his cell phone and ask me your stuff about mother. Holla at Young Bird, lame ass. Young Bird phone number is 601. J Mill's number is 347. Tiger's number is 424. I'm f***ing your favorite rapper right now. Tell me whose rapper tune is this? By XO from Black Wall Street. His is like this. Y'all so I had no evidence, right? Who wanna watch my next tape? Buy my book in December. Be probably like his jewelry, just like Soulja Boy like his coat with no cut. I'm Black, your favorite athlete's number. Holla at Ocho Cinco. His number is 513. He'll fly you out to LA. Or you could, or if you live in Miami, you could go to his crib in Davie. You know, just like I did. What's the last? Alright, let's talk about hip hop. When's the last time you stole the record, motherfucker? Let's talk about records. Why are you talking about bottles? Hey, Chopper. Why are you hating on Young Money? Because they're roommates. You're a roommate too. You live with your manager and your two best friends. And you don't even got a flat screen.
Hey, Soulja Boy, do you really control your hoes next time? Everybody call out Soulja Boy. So.
At one point, her own mother had become entangled in her online drama.
Hi everybody again. I'm a Kat's mom. If you mess with my daughter, you know, all the people they love, I can be your worst nightmare.
Hey, my mom said that she's sorry that the manager had called her. She said she's sorry for calling your phone and all that stuff.
Alright, I appreciate it.
It's all good.
So I just...
Cat Stacks became one of their internet's earliest examples of clout chase and fame, and it led to bookings and lucrative side gigs. She was doing club appearances, being paid up to $2,500 per appearance at clubs during the height of her fame. This notoriety made her a staple in hip-hop gossip blogs and forums at the time, and she was featured in interviews with urban media outlets like Vlad TV and XXL.
What up, y'all? This Cat Stacks.
Do your thing.
Cat Stacks. Well, right now my manager Kevin Wells is negotiating with MTV with my new reality show, and we're still negotiating the book deal. I had a book deal with World Star, but now somebody else is talking bigger money, so I'm fucking with them now. Well, when I first came out, it was just drunk. I was just drunk tweeting. Like, I did not mean anything I said, but then he just blew up, so I just stuck with it.
Cat had stirred up enough attention to prompt responses from the men themselves and got embroiled in many feuds.
Natalie Nunn wanna be running her mouth for the 8th time. Yes, I got a new show out on VH1. Oxygen, ho.
You know what Cat Stacks don't have? That!
If World Star Hip Hop wants to continue to feed into Cat Stacks bullshit, please make sure you put this video on your whack ass 1% demographic website, okay? That needs to be a mom. You're a mother. You have a baby. Be a mom. It's not cute, bitch, to sit on the internet, talk about how loose you are, how you're uneducated, you can't speak proper English, and you think it's cute.
Check it out, man. The word on the streets is I had some Cat Stacks. That's what they told me. That's that. Tell the truth, baby girl.
Cat Stacks. 305. Man, so many people that call that bitch by now. That bitch got a number changed. Cat Stacks. So show up the phone. Fuck it. Bitch, I got the number 2. Yeah, hold on, soon. I'm not lying, Cat. You know what's up. Real name. Look at this. I'm gonna expose you. I'll give out your number.
You're checking out VIP Saturdays with DJ Self and the VIP
when did that
crew.
Take place? How long was y'all doing that?
It was for about 2 months.
About 2 months?
Yeah.
Where did you see him at?
The first time I met him was because of Bow Wow. Like, he gave him my number and whatnot, and we started speaking on Twitter and shit. And the first time I met him, he called me over to the Hit Factory.
Oh,
like,
so when he called, so when he called you over to the Hit Factory, you had been messing with him already for like 2 months previously, though, right?
The direct messages that I aired out, that was after. That was like the last day I saw him.
That was the last day. So if you was messing with him for 2 months, why did he have to email you the studio that he always worked at?
Well, in case you don't know, hey, Cat Stacks, in case you don't know, you got Nelly on the line right now. That's Nelly you talking to.
What's the name of the hotel with your lying ass?
This not Nelly. This not Nelly because it don't sound like him.
That's Nelly, mama.
What's the name? Don't even work, Kimmy. Yo,
so this not Nelly because this don't sound like him.
You ain't never talked to me on the phone, you don't know.
I never spoke to you on the phone.
You ain't never, Johnny, you ain't never been in the room with me
Self and the VIP crew.
I never been in the room with you.
Never.
We need to air my text messages.
Cuz, this is my point. This is my whole thing. I was gonna let little shorty slide, but now she's trying to turn a buck off a line. I'm like, shorty.
You don't fear for like when you walking around and you know somebody's gonna do something to you, like just like even if say even what you're saying is true, like this the stuff that you're saying. No?
No, I ain't scared of nobody.
Have you ever met Cat Stacks? What happened?
I've never met Cat Stacks, but the funniest
Can
thing
I just
about
verify that with your man? Did he have a Cat Stacks jump off?
Nah.
Are we going to see that?
I've never met Cat Stacks.
Are you sure about you never seen Cat Stacks?
I'm 100% sure.
She's not going to put you on.
What do you think about the whole Cat Stacks thing? Because at one point, I think she talked about Jim.
She talked about Jim. I don't know what that was about. I don't care about her. She's, irrelevant to me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, look at her. You see what she is. Look at what she's doing. I mean, that shit is crazy. I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? You won't find me caught with her. So at the end of the day, if that's what you want to know, no. And I'm done with that. Can't even get no more airtime from me.
Cat Stacks?
Yes, sir.
You know, I just want her to have a goal. Like, all right, you doing the numbers, what's your goal after that? Because I'm sure she's smart. I'm sure she got other shit going on besides just fucking with giving out numbers or whatever. And I want all my people to be on that. When you get on that internet, man, use that shit to your advantage.
I had to ask some friends because I was hearing a lot about her, and so they told me, who she was and what she was doing. And I come from the school of thought there's just some things that the public just shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like things that happen between two people, a wife and a husband, girl. I just don't think that it's for mass consumption. I just have always felt that way, and I just think that the whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and kind of bastardized. Like whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there. Like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
What do you think of Cat Stacks?
I was thinking that you might ask me that question because I'm the type to kind of mind my business, so I don't really strongly have any bad or positive things to say. All I can say is different people use their different talents to make money, or to get attention. And I just hope at the end of the day she keeps herself safe. And everyone knows what she does and what she's about, and people continue to her. So that's good for her, bad for the other people who she put out like that. But I don't personally really care about what she's doing. So
that's fair enough.
More love to her. If she can get money the way she's getting it, then hey, that's just what it is. Everybody gotta make a living.
So what do you think about the whole Cat Stacks phenomenon?
I think she's smart. And when I say that because she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing, and the men put themselves out there. Not saying what she's doing is right, because she knows what she's doing isn't right either. But at the same time, when you allow yourself to get put out there,
she's one of the girls that I was talking about on the videos. Like, I'm talking about girls getting attention for the wrong reasons.
What do you think about the whole Cat Stacks thing?
That's interesting. That bitch is crazy. Like,
alright, so there's a very infamous groupie going around saying a lot of negative stuff right now.
For sure.
We won't even mention her name, but do you have anything to say about that?
I don't like the way how she doing it, because that's my big brothers, and if you want to get fame off a young man, and do it the right way, because you really do it the wrong way, And you think you're putting yourself out there as famous. You're really putting yourself out there as a, you know what? I'm not gonna say it, but I mean.
She tried to get at me a few times. I ain't with it. But you know, it's just funny though. It's like I say, I always say, it's like watching Punk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what she do. She gonna blast you. You know what I'm saying? If you fuck with her, she gonna blast you. But motherfucker still try it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Cat Stacks made a lot of allegations lately. You know what I'm saying? Is any of it true? You don't know why? Okay.
And that's what I'm saying about all these activists and the people that came after me for tip drill. Why y'all not trying to talk to Cat Stacks? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious. Like, why aren't the Spellman Girls trying to march down Cat Stacks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why they ain't trying to pull this sister in and talk to her and do all that? Because, you know, it's easier to go after the men and it's not easier to go after the women. So, I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so, you know, I don't know. I try not to even talk about her other than, yo, she cuckoo, yo.
Some of these were in the form of diss tracks, and she was even being name-dropped in songs by artists like 2 Chainz, Ice Cube, Tyga, and so many more.
No green card, no immigration. I'm headed to the top, that's the destination.
If you ain't know who I was, why would you ask me was I mad at you?
Cat Stacks, you can suck.
Back bitches, Cat Stacks.
Been getting stuck by the game. Cat Stacks, With a hashtag, got a Cat Stacks with an ass for the smash that.
Chasing, you might end up with a Cat Stacks. Nasty trick, nasty.
Dirty white bitch, yeah, that Cat Stacks. We don't sleep right here, we take cat naps.
Where's Cat Stacks? I'm Rambo with this ammunition, my camo come from True Religion.
We don't beat on Cat Stacks, we just bring it to an end. And we don't wanna see Nicki fight.
People compared her to Corinne Stefins, the former video vixen that famously exposed relationships with rappers in her New York Times bestseller, Confessions of a Video Vixen. Although fame was what she was chasing, it doesn't seem like Kat was able to handle it, as she often appeared to be intoxicated and was frequently carried out of clubs.
They ain't laughing at you. They be laughing at you doing their own thing.
No, they're not. I heard him.
Alright, they ain't gonna laugh no more.
You think?
So.
Yeah, they said that was
Oh
funny.
She having the breakdown, y'all. Everybody, she been through a lot.
No, fuck you. They don't you know shit.
I know they don't. Be cool.
No, they don't. Why you bring these niggas for, man? I don't know this niggas. I know Mooney and Slim and them.
These niggas, they gonna shoot for you. That's what they gonna do.
That's shit for you, nigga. That's shit for you. That is shit for nobody else.
Yo, Cat, Black TV, shout out to Black TV.
Get in the car, bro. Man, come on, get in the car with this big ass dog right there. Police dog right there.
Where else? Let's take some funny shit. Man, come on, man. Drizzle. I'm not gonna put you on World Star Cat.
Stop. Turn it off. Turn it off.
I'm not putting it
on. Turn it off. Don't touch me. Where's my goose cut?
I'm the goose cut. You not stunning. You stunning. VH been straight. Hey, bitch. No. Please pull up, man. If I pick your ass up and throw you out of the street.
Hey, this is what? This is
Nah, she don't need no more. Let's go. Let's go. Straight Follow me.
But by late May, her fame took a darker turn when a video surfaced showing her being physically attacked at a bar. In the clip, a man slapped her across the face and yanked her off a bar stool by her hair while the cameraman pressured her to apologize to Fab and apologize to Bow Wow, leading some to speculate that the rappers may have orchestrated the assault.
What the fucking flesh? Holy shit. Man, apologize. Come here, apologize. Apologize. Say sorry, Fat. Apologize. Say sorry, Bow. Bow Wow.
Bow Wow quickly denied any involvement, telling Vibe magazine, "That's not even who I am. I make music for girls. Do I really seem like the type to send goons after somebody? It doesn't even make sense." He went further, saying he had no connection to Kat. Everything she said is a lie. I don't know her. When people mention stacks to me, I'm thinking about money or pancakes. That's it. When asked what advice he'd offer Kat to avoid more drama, Bow Wow shrugged it off, saying, "It seems like people have tried to give her advice, but she doesn't listen. You can't help people who don't want to change. I leave it to God." Fabulous also addressed the situation on Twitter, posting, "Why would I send a dude to smack a girl? But I know who sent someone to smack her. Karma."
Well, anyway though, so everybody keeps talking about a video of me getting attacked by Bow Wow's peoples and by Fabulous peoples. Well, first of all, then they tell them I'm a night. Like, Bow Wow, you a dumbass. Everybody knows that you and Bart are my best friends. You even took a picture with the motherfucker like a day after what the happened. Like, how stupid can you be? At first, you threatened me on my phone too. That you was gonna get peoples on me if I ever put you out there when you were still going out with Angela Simmons.
The situation with Kat continued to escalate in June when another video surfaced, this time showing Kat attacked by her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Young Mazzy.
No, tell the camera, you wanna play with me, you better go apologize. You think Gary can say anything? Go apologize right now before I knock your head off. Apologize. Sorry, Mazzy, stop! You stop, man! Now tell the world who you talking about. You talking about me? You talking about me? Was you telling the truth about me? No, I wasn't. Don't ever play with me. I ain't gonna put my hand on no female, but I'll break you. Apologize. I have some folks come see you. I told you in my city anyway you go.
Also in the clip, 3 women, including one said to be a relative of Young Money's Lil Twist, cornered her, hit her, dragged her by her hair, and ordered her to publicly admit she lied about her past relationships. Under pressure, Kat agreed on camera that she had lied.
You sorry.
I'm sorry.
Tell all them niggas you sorry you with.
I'm sorry.
Everybody name them.
You f***ing up homes and
And I ain't gonna even do you like that. I'm gonna give you a ride the way you got to go. I ain't gonna on you. Just cause you on the road, I ain't gonna do you like that. Now how I feel?
tell them folks how you lied to them folks.
Tell them so you don't get that, so they don't do nothing to you.
Yeah, I lied on everybody.
Who you lie on?
I already mentioned it on the video before. I mentioned
Alright, open the door. Come on. So ass nice. See how I feel to be
Afterwards, however, another clip surfaced showing Kat, still bruised, reversing her statement and leaking a few more phone numbers.
What's up, y'all? This Karen Stank. Yeah, I'm looking fucked up right now, looking at my mess. Cause this two they think that motherfucking Batman and Robin. And this has this motherfucking set me up with Lil Twist auntie and her 2 little sidekicks, this big assholes. This motherfucking take me on camera, made me say that I lied about Young Money and everybody in Lil Twist, and made me apologize. Of course I ain't gonna go with 3 big assholes, you know, I ain't got no backup with me. I just wanna say that they made me do that. I'm still, everything I said about Young Money, Twist, Wayne, Tiger, everybody is true. Y'all get lane number is 404 and call up Jay Futuristic.
She remained unfazed and went on to post one of her most widely circulated and controversial videos ever released. This time, she targeted rapper Soulja Boy, accusing him of both substance abuse and maintaining a secret relationship with her. The video begins with Kat filming herself in a hotel bathroom mirror, narrating as she walks through what she claims is Soulja Boy's suite. She eventually points the camera at a table in the living area, showing what appears to be several lines of a white powdery substance. While the camera never captures Soulja Boy directly using or interacting with it, Kat claims it belongs to him. Shortly after the video surfaced online, Soulja Boy took to Twitter to defend himself. He denied any substance use and implied that Kat Stacks was fabricating the story, tweeting, "God knows I didn't do that. That's all that matters. You are nothing but humans." He also spoke to TheJuice.com about the controversy and suggested that the situation was bigger than just Kat herself, saying, "I think somebody was targeting me and hired her to set me up. I mean, what regular girl would pull something like that?" Still, Soulja Boy seemed to take it all in stride, brushing it off as just more publicity, saying, "It gives y'all something to talk about when you see me. I don't really let it bother me. I got too much swag for that." Fabulous also tweeted poking fun at him, saying, "Letting Cat Stacks in your hotel room is stupid boy swag. All you rappers pay attention. That right there is called stupid boy swag." Carmelo Anthony and his wife at the time, Lala, unexpectedly became entangled in a controversy involving Cat Stacks. The situation escalated after a tweet from his account offered $20,000 to anyone willing to slap her. Lala was also tweeting about her disdain for Cat, commenting that her husband was on a Twitter roll. Shortly after the tweets, Carmelo claimed that his account had been hacked. However, Cat wasn't convinced and responded by announcing that she had filed a police report against the NBA star. Will Daniels, a marketer and the founder of the celebrity gossip site ubuns.com, briefly worked with Cat Stacks after she rose to fame. However, their partnership quickly fell apart. Cat, who had already cycled through several managers in a short time, was reportedly hard to manage and missed multiple club appearances, each booked around $2,500 per event. Will alleged that Cat struggled with alcoholism, which only added to the chaos. He also said he tried to warn her about her actions as she was still on probation and feared she'd be deported if caught, telling Vibe magazine, "I don't know how she hasn't been busted yet because she's all over the internet. She's still on probation for her gun charge. If she gets caught, she could get deported to Venezuela for 10 years. Their professional relationship officially ended when Kat took to Twitter to announce that Will had been fired, directing all future bookings and interview requests to Young Mazzy, an aspiring rapper she was dating. Will Daniels said Kat later called to apologize, blaming her actions on being drunk, and had allegedly sent graphic pictures describing instances where she was kicked and stomped as evidence of abuse by Mazzy. But by then, Will was fed up with the constant drama. He said, "It felt like a slap in the face. She doesn't want to handle things the right way. She even claimed this Young Mazzy guy was beating her." Will went on to claim that Mazzy was affiliated with Fabulous and may have been the reason behind one of her attacks. Then also revealed that Kat's own mother often called him in search of her daughter, who she wanted to return to Miami safely and to take care of her son. He said, "Her own friend Jenna Shea told me that Kat was toxic. She told me to make money off her and get out. I feel bad about the whole situation. I would like to help, but you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves." Unfortunately, it was too late for Kat Stacks because in November 2010, after missing a court appearance, she was arrested and detained without bail at the Nashville Correctional Development Center for Females. Despite living legally in the US since childhood, she was not naturalized. A police assistant at Nashville's Criminal Justice Center explained to Vibe magazine that her arrest wasn't tied to a new state charge, but rather to an old missed immigration court date, saying, "Once you miss a court date, they start tracking you down, and once they catch you, it's over."
From my sources, Bashar called the airport, canceled a flight, and said she had a fake ID.
Okay, so basically, the other promoter
who booked her,
who didn't have her money,
the back end, yeah.
Who was being the one who she called janky, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this dude is the one who pretty much was petty.
Oh yeah.
Canceled the flight.
And said she had fake ID.
Which got her harassed at the airport when she was tweeting about
immigration. Yeah, when she got sent to immigration, what she's in the media about right now. That's the true story that's basically going on. So that's how everything happened.
So this dude. So you're telling me that somebody is like really is that petty? They didn't have the money.
Oh yeah. I mean, he felt like she was being petty him, so I guess he got it, wanted to get it back.
Even though Kat Stacks was locked up, the then 21-year-old continued stirring up controversy from behind bars. She kept her name circulating online through her Twitter account by using racial slurs and provocative language. But as time passed and her physical presence faded from the internet, so did much of the attention she once commanded. Nearly 2 years had passed, and Kat Stacks was still behind bars. Though the time frame wasn't that long, the Kat Stacks phenomenon seemed like a thing of the past, and people had already moved on. It appears that jail prompted Kat to reassess her life and begin shedding the controversial persona that brought her viral fame. From behind bars, she announced a major shift by changing her Twitter handle to The Andrea Way, and declaring that she was leaving the Kat Stacks identity behind. This move seemed to be a strategic response to the judge's criticism of her online behavior that negatively impacted the outcome of her immigration case. Kat was making strides by attending therapy, taking medication, going to Bible study, and preparing to work with a human trafficking support organization upon her release. Despite those efforts, she felt the judge ignored her progress and evidence in her favor. She told XXL, "I wasn't incapacitated back then. I was just messed up in the head, and I just lashed out on hurt, on pain, on being mad. I just wasn't right back then. I just had gotten out of the pimp scene. I was in the scene since I was 14 years old. I didn't know any better. I didn't know anywhere else to go, and Worldstar was just an open door for me not to be in the streets working and getting beat up by a pimp. The father of my child is a pimp. I explained that to them. Everybody deserves a second chance, and the government won't give it to me. It's not right. People will see a different side of me now. If they're gonna persecute me for being Cat Stacks, then they should persecute rappers for their lyrics and what they do in the videos." She revealed that she didn't have direct internet access while incarcerated, and that a designated individual had been responsible for posting the inflammatory tweets that kept her name buzzing. Cat Stacks expressed regret over being separated from her young son, revealing that she missed key milestones like his first steps and words, and only saw him through bulletproof glass every few weeks. She said her son now believes her mother is his mother. She criticized the judge in her case for being heartless and focused solely on her past viral videos, despite her efforts to change. Behind the scenes, Q was the only person helping her fight deportation. But after spending 2 years incarcerated in a Louisiana immigration facility, the judge ordered Cat Stacks to be deported, citing her perceived lack of contribution or value to American society as part of the reasoning behind the decision.
I'm supposed to protect victims like me from all the underage stuff that happened, because all my charges when I was underage and I was under the influence of a pimp.
The judge ruled her conduct was in no way indicative of someone who wants to help others, make positive changes, or be a role model. He said it's not in the best interest of the United States to grant adjustment of status, and it will be denied.
I think that the decision is a fair decision. I don't consider that it's an abuse of discretion based on the facts. Basically, this person had 2 convictions. He used that with other factors, such as she impersonating a person on the internet and using that not to help people, actually to promote herself and doing wrong things.
But Herrera's lawyer is appealing the judge's deportation order.
His job is for him to clean our society of people that he doesn't believe will be an asset to society.
Kat's mother issued an emotional open letter to the public, recounting her daughter's troubled upbringing and pleading with the Obama administration for compassion. In the letter, she said her daughter created the Cat Stacks persona to survive and pleaded for a 2-year deferral of the deportation order, hoping to give Kat a chance to turn her life around with the support of those working to help her build a more stable and legitimate future. And Dream activists also launched a petition calling for her release.
She's known as Cat Stacks, the young woman with a huge hip-hop fan base, racy photos on the internet, 250,000 followers on Twitter. But these days, Cat Stacks is no more, like during her arrest for carrying a concealed firearm in Broward. She's called by her real name, Andrea Herrera, at the immigration facility in Louisiana where she's being held.
Cat Stacks is a character.
Herrera's mother has custody of her 2-year-old son and is fighting the battle to get her daughter a green card and ultimately citizenship. She wants her daughter to have the same path as Daniela Pelez, the high school valedictorian who was allowed to remain under a presidential executive order.
All that she went through on the street, she created that person, Cat, to survive.
Her lawyer filed a successful appeal, and a few months later in January 2013, Kat got the exciting news that the judge had signed the order for her release from the Louisiana Immigration Detention Center.
Hello?
Only NBC6 South Florida was there for this emotional moment today for a mother and son on the phone with their loved one who had been scheduled to be deported. Wednesday, we obtained these court documents indicating Herrera's fortunes have dramatically changed. She won an appeal, and the order releasing her was signed a few hours ago.
I'm excited, happy. I can't wait to hug her. And they have determined that as a matter of discretion, Andrea deserves a second chance.
But the appeals board said, We agree with the immigration judge that this case presents some significant negative factors, particularly the respondent's criminal history. Moreover, the respondent's Cat Stacks persona is disturbing and in no way a positive contribution to society. However, other compelling factors, particularly her long history of abuse, outweigh the negative factors. The respondent's appeal is sustained, and she is eligible for adjustment of status and deserving of such relief.
She have her son here, she been here most of her life.
Many people could believe her behavior should prevent her from staying here. What do you say to them?
Everybody deserves a second chance.
At 23 years old, she was granted a chance to remain in the United States. Upon her release, she tweeted, "Shoutouts to all my dreamers. Stand together to achieve justice," and went on an interview tour publicly declaring her intention to leave behind her controversial persona and start new. She expressed desire to focus on personal growth and to distance herself from the behaviors that had previously garnered her notoriety.
If it wasn't for my family, and if it wasn't for Q World Star supporting me and my fans sending me letters and money to eat when others wouldn't, I wouldn't have survived. I think when I go visitation and I see my son behind the bulletproof wall, I think that's the worst feeling.
You know, before I got locked up, I was just like a type of party wild girl. And then once I went to federal prison, I got to like settle down and, you know, see my surroundings clearly. And I'm like, okay, I have a son, I have a family to take care of. It has to be, you know, business, no more playing around. Because, you know, I brought somebody, an innocent person in the world who didn't ask to be here. I brought them here. So I'm all about, you know, business. Well, this part of business, part of hip hop, you're always gonna get booked for an event, whether it's a party or, you know, just like a walkthrough or just show up anywhere. Like, could be an art gallery, but they chose the club hosting, so it's just money to feed my son. Well, the persona was, most of it was entertainment. So, just clowning.
In the environment I grew up in, like your name wasn't Kat, your name wasn't Andrea, your name was or hoe, or like any negative response or anything was like a punch to the face or like a kick in the mouth. So I feel nothing when people be like, oh, you whore, or you this. It's like telling me hi. It's like a greeting, like I don't feel a thing about it, and people don't understand that. It's like, I think my psychologist called it disassociation or whatever. Yeah, so it's like, I don't feel anything. That was all just publicity. You know, it was all publicity, entertainment.
I ended up being an underage traffic victim when I turned 14 because my first love turned out to be an older man who trafficked minors who had experience in this, and I fell into the game. And my experiences, what I went through in the game to prevent other young girls or the young men from getting in the game, all my foul outs and the traps, how it brought nothing to me, just like Iceberg Slim said, it only brought him penitentiary and, you know, death. There's nothing in between it. And it's the same thing that happened to me. All it did was get me incarcerated and I almost got deported. And it was just brought out what the lifestyle did to me and how I made it out of it and managed to stay on top of it.
She also admitted that she made most of the allegations up, and a lot of the information was fed to her by Jenna, who she speculates was probably heard by a lot of those men and just used her as a way to get revenge. On the infamous video with Soulja Boy, who Jenna also dated, Kat Stacks admitted that it was staged out of anger. She explained that the two were secretly involved and that after he left her stranded at a hotel, she got drunk and upset. While with friends, a crushed up Advil pill was mistaken for cocaine after a laptop fell on it, and her friend staged the scene. Though she apologized and eventually told the truth publicly, she said Soulja Boy still tried to retaliate, so she chose to move on from the situation.
I won't be talking about them anymore. I still do business with them, entertainment business, but not like it used to be. Yes, of course, Soulja Boy did not do cocaine. It was Advil pills that were laying around the hotel room, and it was set up by 3 guys that were in the hotel room after Soulja Boy left. I was drunk. I was in another state of mind. Well, But most of it was fun and entertainment. It was just, you know, something fun out of hip hop, nothing too serious, and it's all in the past now, so.
She also published an autobiography titled Admire Andrea, Surviving Savagery to Saving Lives, detailing her experiences and journey towards recovery. And she also revealed plans to release music. However, clout is a drug, and Kat couldn't stick to her plans to change her behavior. She reemerged with a new look and changed her social media handles back to Kat Stacks. After Kat Stacks was released from immigration detention, public interest in her began to fade, and her media opportunities started to dwindle. She later revealed that her former manager, Q, played a significant role in stalling her comeback. According to Kat, Q discouraged her from working, insisting she take time to focus on her family while covering her housing and transportation costs. However, once she ended their relationship, he allegedly cut off support and began sending her legal threats to block new opportunities. Kat claimed that both The Wendy Williams Show and Vice had reached out to work with her post-release, but Q's interference caused those deals to fall through, so she dropped a diss track aimed towards him.
Game goddess, game goddess, from the bottom to the top, I'm the goddess. Game goddess, from the bottom.
And I thought my management was all about business too, but he brought his personal issues into it because I was supposed to be the face of World Star, the queen, you know, I have it tattooed here. I'm trying to get my book situation together because Q's holding my book hostage because he's mad I left. So, you know, I'm working that out with the lawyers, you know, shopping for new publishers, see what's going to happen in the end. We have different reality show projects. We're not sure if it's just going to be a documentary or it's going to be like a love show, like Love for Cat. So we're just doing like different projects right now because I felt that he's disrespectful, he's disloyal, and he doesn't think like a businessman. He's not professional. I mean, if you were a businessman, you wouldn't be holding my book hostage right now. You ruined my buzz. You turned down shows. You turned down TV shows from Wendy Williams to Bravo TV show and all of that stuff because I guess you were jealous and he didn't want me to like get bigger than him because he wants to shine.
Kat was often engaging in online drama, accusing Cardi B of stealing her persona.
All them videos you do online, I did that first. That f***ing black wig with the bangs, I did that first. That fake ass laugh you be doing in your videos, I did that first.
And on Christmas 2015, Kat Stacks took to social media and unleashed a series of offensive, racist insults aimed at Blac Chyna, accusing Chyna of wanting to be white and referred to her as an ape with a monkey nose. The backlash was swift, and Kat later attempted to explain her behavior, blaming it on alcohol. She also had other racist tweets saying that black people were illiterate, which was interesting coming from her. There was another time when she tried to insert herself into Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma's beef, and made colorist comments on Twitter. It seems like controversy was the only way she knew how to keep herself relevant.
You want to know why white people don't get shot or whatever, you know, when they're getting arrested by the police? Because white people know how to behave. They show respect to authority. They don't resist arrest. They don't act like animals. Every time a black person, whether it's a woman or a man, getting arrested, they always want to show out and then they want to claim police brutality or whatever the they want to claim.
Following an altercation with her mother, Kat Stacks was reportedly arrested and charged with misdemeanor battery and domestic violence, which led to a restraining order being filed against her. However, after her release from jail on the morning of October 14th, 2016, she took to Twitter to dismiss claims that she had assaulted anyone. Kat insisted that the reports were false and alleged that her mother had gone to the police with fabricated accusations. In 2017, she popped up again in a news story after she was almost lured into human trafficking again.
Andrea Herrera says Kendrick Roberts contacted her through her Instagram page several months before his arrest on human trafficking charges.
At first he said that he was a rapper and that he wanted me to be one of his models. And he just kept sending me a lot of pictures and videos with stacks of money. And it just seemed weird. So he was like, I'll fly you out because I live in Miami. He's like, I'll fly you to Atlanta.
But she says his Instagram account raised some red flags.
And I investigated his page and I was like, nah, I'm not going.
I know better because I was involved in that type of industry. So I just decided I wasn't going to go, and I didn't take the offer.
Herrera says she was a victim of sex trafficking as a teenager. She's published a book about her experiences and often speaks out on the topic. His social media videos show the women with lavish gifts and catered dinners. Herrera says that doesn't mean they're not victims.
Like I said, just because he's posting videos showing lobsters and jewelry, like, you don't know what's going on when the camera is shut off. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
And of course, during this time, there were more videos popping up of her being attacked or fighting in public, just like the old days. Then in 2020, Kat resurfaced online with new allegations, this time directed at her girlfriend. Around the same time, a mugshot of her began circulating on social media after she was reportedly booked for violating a protective order. Her physical appearance in the photo sparked concern among fans and observers, with many speculating about her health and well-being. Since then, Kat Stacks has stayed far away from the chaos that once made her a household name in hip-hop gossip.
So because my last video went viral about you hoes turning tricks into pimps, this is part 2. So he offered to fix them, also let me stay at his crib for free. Jimmy Smacks, aka Justin Woods. First of all, I met him once he moved from Harlem. Compton Menace, aka Michael. I met him in Compton and he would take me out to eat and do other trick shit. So someone asked me, so do you know the game? Yes, I do know the rapper, the game. He liked me and he flew me out to LA. And he took me to the game's house. And then we all got in a stretched out Hummer limo.
Though she occasionally pops up online, the spotlight has mostly faded. The Kat Stacks persona has largely been retired, even though she still goes by the name. But her legacy? Still visible. Kat Stacks paved the way for a new kind of internet fame, one built on viral controversy and shock value. And while many try to mimic her formula, very few could gain her level of notoriety or influence. That's all I have for today's video. I had to censor so much and redact a lot of footage that was shown, but I did launch a Patreon so that I can be able to give you guys raw, uncensored videos without dealing with all the censorship on YouTube. So make sure you guys head over to the link and subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to BFTV for more content.